late for us to tell the other students who had showed up to head on back home. And so we are proceeding in what is a solo kind of debate, or as my boss would say, it's a presentation. Whatever the case is, the student is here, the second person today. Her name is Majesty Peniel Omozefe. She's a 14-year-old from Government Science and Tech College, Gariki. Hello, Peniel. How are you?
Thank you, ma.
Okay, you want to speak into the mic? You can bring it down.
Okay.
Okay, and project.
I'm fine, thank you, ma.
Yes, you are. All right, then. Welcome to the show, and I hope you're ready. We're going to be starting in a little bit.
Okay, ma.
Okay, all right. So we'll give you some pieces of paper to decide if you're arguing for the motion or against. So let me just give that to you while we appreciate our sponsors and partners who have made sure that we have everything that we need to reward our debaters.
All right, we have our sponsors, Hamzat Lawal of Connected Development and Follow the Money, as well as 313 Bureau de Change and Happiness Computers as well. Yeah, so thank you to all of them who have decided to be sponsors of this second season of the Beg to Differ debate and made it possible for the winners and those who participate to, go home with some prizes at the end of the day.
All right, Majesty Peniel Omozefe has picked. Let's hear what you picked. Are you arguing?
I'm for the motion.
You are for the motion. Okay. All right, and the motion you're going to be arguing for is public schools are better than private schools. Confirm to me that was the topic you got?
Yes, that's my topic.
Okay, so you're going to have 3 minutes to do your opening. There is no opponent, so you don't have a rebuttal. You get automatic points on that one. And then we'll give you a little bit of time to catch your breath. And then you have another 3 minutes for your closing.
Okay, ma.
Remember, despite the fact that you don't have an opponent, you are still going to be judged on your style, your presentation, your opening, and your closing. Okay? All right. Take a deep breath. Remember to speak into the mic.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Your time starts now.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, the panel of judges, accurate timekeepers, my co-debaters. My name is Majesty Peniel from a Citadel of Knowledge, Government Science and Technical College. I'm in SS2 and I'm 14 years old. I'm here to affirm the motion which says public schools are better than private schools. To begin with, a strong argument can be made on public schools being superior due to their inherent focus on social diversity, accessibility to students regardless of their income, and a commitment to providing a well-rounded education that will reflect to the wider community. Public schools naturally draw students from a wider range of socioeconomic backgrounds, fostering a more conducive and diverse knowledge, which will help them to be able to interact with people from different walks of life. Next, public schools have an advantage over private schools because they provide equality between students. They provide equality between the students. As funded by the government, public schools are accessible to students regardless of their family situation, financial stability, which will ensure an equitable educational opportunity. So with this, each student, either rich, poor, from a rural or urban community, will have equal access to education, whereas public schools do not really prioritize on the equality among students. They also promote diversity and social integration that will bring students together from different backgrounds and will help them to be able to relate this to the real world interactions. In addition, public schools usually have a broad curriculum because they were able to offer a comprehensive curriculum which covers a wider range of subjects like STEM, art programs, and even sports, exposing the students to different perspectives and interests. They also follow a government-regulated curricula with ensuring consistency in educational quality, whereas private schools do not really specialize in all that. Furthermore, the public schools also help students in college and career readiness. Many public schools today in Nigeria, even our private schools in standardized test scores and college counseling. They help the students to be able to learn entrepreneurship skills that will help them in the future or careers they wish to apply for once they are up in the universities. Finally, in conclusion, public schools have better and qualified teachers. Public schools teachers must meet strict credentials, that is the TRC, which a teacher must acquire before he or she will be termed as classified teachers before they be able to teach in government schools. But compared to private schools where they don't even need to get formal credentials. So with this, I'm sure that I've been able to bust your bubble of confusion and to sway you into believing that public schools are better than private schools. Thank you.
Right on the mark. It's about 6 seconds to spare. That was Ahamisi Peniel of Mozefe's opening for this round of debate. And she's arguing for the motion, public schools are better than private schools. Okay, remember, you don't have a rebuttal. Would you like a few minutes to catch your breath, or are you ready to close?
No, I would like a few minutes.
You like a few minutes, yes. All right.
Okay, we'll do that for you. Have you, take a deep breath, relax, and get ready to give your conclusion. But note that we are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. This is our second debate for day 2. You can catch up on the other one on our social platforms as well. And it's a solo debate in case you just tuned in and you're wondering, what is going on? Well, not so much is happening. The other opponents couldn't make it to the studio today, and we have to still go on with the debate, not having to wait for them because the notice was giving really late. So we're having just a solo debate, one person speaking depending on what they've picked for, or begging to defer to the topic of the day. And the topic for today, which she has just giving a presentation opening on.
Public schools are better than private schools.
Yes, I mean, when it would say, okay. But yeah, she's giving her points, and, you would have to hold on to that and give your own arguments, maybe argue by yourself.
If you beg to differ.
If you beg to differ. Or you can just, put up your thoughts on our social platforms as well. You can comment what you are begging to differ to, and we will just maybe take it when we are taking some of the comments. We'll go on a quick breather right now ourselves as well. We need to breathe for a bit, and when we come back, we'll have her give her conclusion.
The politics of our nation.
They have that right to protest. There is no need to go there and now start shooting.
The current affairs of our state.
Everywhere we have gone to, the dirt of Abuja is not on the surface.
All at your fingertips on your Let's Talk station.
95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Can I have your attention, please?
The news, information, and the right conversation are here on Nigeria.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is.
Now we are back on I Beg to Differ.
Welcome back. I Beg to Differ. Season 2, Day 2 is still on. And just before we went on the break, Peniel gave her opening argument in support of the motion that public schools are better than private schools. We're going to come to her in a little bit to give her closing statement, after which we will hear from the judges. Of course, our judges are ably what's the word now? They're very much around, and the ones that aren't are ably represented, and so we're scoring them as we would if there was an opponent here. Dr. Majid Dahiru is around, one of our judges. He's also our chief judge. So he's the, what's the word now? He's the INEC boss. For this competition.
Chairman, that's it.
He's the INEC chairman for this competition. Dr. Majid is in the judges' room doing what needs to be done. We also have Fidel Osegale, also known as Castro, our in-house judge, who is also doing the needful. And then we have Irene Bangwell, who is ably represented by one of our in-house judges as well, making sure that everything that needs to be done regarding the proper judging of our students here, our solo contestants, is done accordingly. Now, the one thing that we know is that the students, because they don't have opponents, are getting full scores for rebuttal. Yes, but they are still going to be properly judged based off on their presentation, their closing, and their style. Okay, so let's get you deliver on your closing, Peniel. I believe you're ready now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your time starts now.
Still standing on the assistant protocol, I'm by name Majesty, and I'm here to finalize my point supporting public schools. While private schools are what it is today, public schools offer a unique set of benefits that help students for success in an increasingly and diverse complex world. By leveraging their strengths, they provide a set of benefits that will help students to be able to relate this to the real world interactions. 2, lack of accountability and transparency. Public schools are normally accountable to the government and taxpayers, ensuring a transparency in their operations and their finances, whereas private schools may not be accountable in the same standards as public schools. Another point here is coming to the financial aspect. Public schools are more financially stable than private schools because they are better funded and they help, and they are better funded, and they also have better facilities and infrastructures to foster an effective learning for the students. Most of our leaders, considering the fact that most of our leaders today attended private schools, and I am also in a private school, not just because of the finances, but also because of the competency and the certifications that public school teachers have. Today, in private schools, most of them may even be secondary school graduates who may not even have such certifications and may end up even teaching more than 2 to 3 subjects at the same time. This would only increase the working load of that teacher and rendering him or her to be inefficient. Finally, elitism and elusivity. You and I can agree on the fact that private schools can penetrate a high rate of elitism and elusivity. This will breed a gap between the elites and the non-elites, and also create a social and economic division. This is why there should be no discrimination against the non-elites. There should be no discrimination against the non-elites, which is why students should be treated equally, irrespective of the situation in which they find themselves. So with this, I am sure that you agree with me on the fact, standing on the fact that public schools are better than private schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Peniel. You delivered on your closing just shy of 3 minutes.
3 seconds?
Just shy of 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay, so it's now time for us to get the verdict of the judges, especially on the key areas we're judging you on today, apart from the bonus points from the rebuttal, which are the presentation, closing, and style. So our returning officer will be joining us any minute now. But quick word again to appreciate our partners and sponsors. We have Hamzat Lawal, Hamzi Code, as he's known on the social media platforms, from Connected Development, as well as the Follow the Money initiative. We also have 313 Bureau de Change and Happiness computers, all of these people coming together to ensure that our students walk away adequately rewarded. Hamza Lawal in particular is sponsoring the first place prize money of ₦1 million. And then we have 313 Bureau de Change and Happiness Computers also giving us a number of other consolation prizes and just ensuring that the students go away happy for the effort that he put in.
Indeed. So we're waiting on our returning officer to come through in good time. We're very, we keep the time here, very important for us. So we're going to, wait for a few more seconds. If he doesn't come through, we need to go investigate and see what exactly is holding him back, just to ensure that the scores are being collated in good time and in broad daylight as well. But in the meantime, you can catch up on the debates on the social platforms where we are streaming live. Ahamisi Evelyn says, great points from Peniel. I mean, I can say the names. It's they're related by some sorts. And Jay says, why don't you get them to debate against themselves since they were prepared for both and against? And that would have been something to listen to.
So that would have been a bit tricky because they were each given different topics. And there are three, we had 3 pairs, right? So what you have here is one person from each pair available, right? And so, for example, Peniel just spoke about public schools and private schools. The other person who will have paired, from the ones we have around, has a completely different topic.
Yeah.
So it made it practically impossible.
Could he mean that they say they talk about for and against by themselves? Either so for the topic and beg to differ on the same topic as well. Since
Is that what that meant?
Yeah, probably. That's what he was trying to get across. But that's okay.
I want to shake the sheke for our returning officer who is in a different form. Kimberly is our returning officer for this particular round. Hi, Kim.
Good to see you. I love, the getup looks really great. All right.
We'll see you after the third round. Okay. All right, then the scores are in. I'm going to let the deacon.
All right. Pretty interesting numbers looking at this right now. For your aggregate presentation, you got 8. For your rebuttal, that's automatic. You're giving a 9. Your closing, 7. Your style, 20. And that makes up 44 in total.
You might be writing it down. Did you get them all? Did you call them out for you?
I have 8, 9, 7, and 20.
Indeed.
Okay,
That's it. Okay, so well done and congratulations to you. You were able to convince the judges enough to, score you this way based on the presentation that you gave on the topic. And, pretty convincing, for those who might be having doubts or were begging to differ. You're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go with that option, which she has been able to convince us about. But thank you, well done, and we look forward to having you back here again soon. Okay. So another breather?
Yes, another breather. But just before we go on that, I wanted to ask, how do you think it would have played out if we did what Jay was suggesting?
Like I said, from speaking from both sides of your mouth, it would have been something to listen to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we will score them on which of them?
Both now. So you now see which would have been higher, for or deferring on the topic.
On top of bonus points.
I'm telling you. But yeah, it would have been something.
Thank you for your suggestion, though.
Yeah.
Thank you for your suggestion, Jay. We appreciate you. Okay, let's take that breather. When we come back, our third and final contestant for today will be joining us with his own topic, and it has to do with technology in the classroom. You want to stay tuned? It promises to be an interesting one just in a little bit.
There's a place where you can get it all trending.
People are dropping on their vehicle and running, leaving their vehicle.
A place where you can air your views.
I want to report the situation.
Only on your #1 station for talk.
This is not the way. We cannot continue like this.
95.1 Nigeria Info. Abuja. Let's talk.
This is Nigeria